In every community, there are figures who are trusted to guide and protect. Teachers, especially, are seen as the caretakers of young minds, the stewards of knowledge and values. They are expected to not only educate, but to foster a sense of trust, safety, and inspiration. But what happens when this sacred trust is violated? When the very hands that are meant to uplift take advantage of those they are supposed to protect? This story is about one such betrayal. A betrayal that not only shattered the innocence of a young student, but also revealed the disturbing darkness lurking behind the facade of authority. But before we continue, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this disturbing topic. Do you think this type of manipulation happens more often than we realize? Please drop your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of the actions of the teacher in this story? And if you're finding this video engaging, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content like this. Your support means a lot. Maya, a bright and promising student, had always believed in the goodness of those around her. She worked hard, studied diligently, and was determined to make something of herself. Like many students, she saw her teacher, Mr. Jacobs, as someone who could guide her toward achieving her goals. She trusted him to help her, to give her the tools she needed to succeed. However, what she did not know was that the very person she trusted most was about to lead her down a dark and dangerous path. She could never have imagined that the very man who was supposed to help her fulfill her potential would soon become the architect of her suffering. The first signs of trouble were subtle, so subtle that Maya barely noticed them at first. It started with a simple compliment here, a suggestion there. Mr. Jacobs praised her work, but there was an undertone in his words, a note of something more than just academic interest. His comments lingered longer than necessary, and his touch seemed to stray into places it shouldn't. Maya, being young and eager to learn, didn't immediately recognize the red flags. She thought it was just the kind of attention every student wanted from a teacher: encouragement, acknowledgement, praise. But as time went on, the nature of Mr. Jacobs' behavior became clearer. What had started as innocent compliments slowly morphed into inappropriate remarks. There were moments when his smile lingered just a bit too long, when his touch seemed to stray into places it shouldn't. He was careful at first, testing the waters, but Maya began to feel uncomfortable. She wasn't sure what to make of it. Was she being oversensitive, or was there something wrong? Her gut told her something was off, but her mind couldn't fully grasp the enormity of the situation. After all, this was her teacher, the one person who was supposed to protect her and help her grow. How could she, a student, question the very person who held so much power over her future? Now, we want to hear from you again. Do you think Maya did the right thing by staying silent at first? Or do you think she should have spoken up sooner? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on the rest of this unfolding story. Days turned into weeks, and Maya found herself spending more and more time with Mr. Jacobs. What had started as academic support slowly turned into something else. His words, once focused on schoolwork, began to shift to her personal life. Compliments, insinuations, and flattery began to fill the space where academic discussions once were. Initially, it was just casual conversation. He would ask about her family, her hobbies, her interests. Maya, eager to connect with her teacher, would share bits of herself, her dreams of becoming a doctor, her love for literature, her admiration for his teaching style. But then the questions became more probing. What did she wear to school? Who were her friends? What did she do outside of school? There was an odd curiosity in his voice, one that felt invasive and strange, but Maya brushed it off. Perhaps he was just trying to be more friendly, more approachable. However, as the weeks passed, Maya began to notice a pattern. Whenever they had private conversations after class, Mr. Jacobs seemed to make her the center of attention in ways that made her uncomfortable. He praised her beauty, mentioned how grown up she looked, and would often make comments about how mature she was for her age. These remarks, while initially seeming like harmless flattery, began to feel different. They felt heavy, laden with a meaning she couldn't quite place. Maya began to withdraw, unsure of how to respond. She still wanted to impress Mr. Jacobs, to be the good student, but her discomfort was growing with each passing day. She started to dread the private meetings, to feel her skin crawl when he looked at her a little too long. What had once felt like a teacher-student relationship was becoming something entirely different. Maya didn't know how to stop it, or even if she could. Every time she considered speaking up, the fear of what might happen, of the consequences, paralyzed her. As time went on, the manipulation became more overt. Mr. Jacobs started offering her special privileges in exchange for her attention, extra credit, easier assignments, and even private tutoring sessions outside of school hours. It was clear that his intentions were not purely academic. He wasn't just helping her pass her exam, she was creating a dependency. Maya felt trapped, knowing that the more she resisted, the more her grades would suffer. The power dynamics at play were overwhelming, and she felt like she had no way out. We're getting to the most intense part of the story now, and we'd love for you to keep following along. Do you think Maya made the right decision in speaking out? What would you have done in her situation? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to like, share, and subscribe to show your support and to be notified when the next part of the story drops. The breaking point came when Maya realized the truth: her grades weren't the only thing at stake. Her sense of self-worth, her safety, and her future were all being compromised. She couldn't allow herself to stay silent any longer. The weight of the situation pushed her to make a decision on she hoped would free her from the suffocating grip of fear. It was a cold, rainy afternoon when Maya decided enough was enough. She couldn't keep living this lie. The mental and emotional toll had become too great, and the thought of continuing to comply with Mr. Jacobs' demands had become unbearable. She knew it would take everything she had, but she was ready to stand up for herself, to finally speak out and reclaim control over her own life. She would no longer allow this man to dictate her future, her worth, or her happiness. The decision to speak out wasn't easy. It came with its own fears, doubts, and consequences. Would the school believe her? Would anyone understand the depth of the trauma she had endured? Maya wasn't sure, but she knew that keeping silent would only ensure that others would suffer the same fate. She couldn't live with that. The truth had to come out. No one else should have to endure the manipulation and abuse that she had. Maya confided in Mrs. Williams, her guidance counselor. Mrs. Williams was known for her compassionate nature, and Maya trusted her more than anyone. When Maya spoke the words that had been choking her for so long, Mrs. Williams listened intently. There was no judgment, no disbelief. Mrs. Williams assured Maya that she would not face this battle alone. Together, they would take the next steps to ensure that the truth was revealed and justice would be served. The investigation into Mr. Jacobs' actions was thorough and swift. The evidence began to pile: Yoop mails, text messages, recordings, all pointing to the same horrifying truth. Maya's courage and bravery in speaking up brought the entire situation to light. Mr. Jacobs was placed on administrative leave while the investigation unfolded. For Maya, the truth had been exposed, but the journey was far from over. If you found this story impactful, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us to continue bringing you real-life stories like this. And don't forget to leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts on the courage it took for Maya to speak out? Have you ever faced a situation where you felt powerless? Or maybe have you seen others speak out in situations like this? Your voice matters.